It's really cool when you get to a place with somebody where you're kind of through that phase where maybe it's going to end, or like, you know, like there's that superficial love, and you get to that place where there's like a real investment in each other where it's not just going to go away, you know, and you get to that place where you know that, you know, good moments, bad moments, when you get to the end of it, you're going to work it out. You're going to talk about it, and you get to that place where you have those experiences where you trust the person.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a huge part, is just trusting them. And just letting your guard down sometimes. Welcome back to Just Whittly Blended. I'm Jesse.
And I am Tom.
And we're in a newish area in the house.
Yeah, we're in the same building, but a different room in the building, if you couldn't tell. No more white wall behind us.
No, now it's prison. Prison gray.
Now we are in the common area of the prison.
I don't know why basements, like when you can see the walls like this, it just feels very
industrial.
That, and just like I'm in a third world fucking
I feel like I'm Bin Laden down in the bunker.
They're gonna find me.
I'm calling jihad.
I dressed as Bin Laden for Halloween one year.
Did you?
Yeah, and went to a Halloween party. It was I think Danny or someone was doing the party. Nice. It was either Danny or Gabe. Mm-hmm. But Danny was dressed as like a cowboy.
Okay.
And he had a big rifle. And
so he shot you?
Yeah, so we were in a basement, so we were downstairs.
He took a picture?
With the gun to the back of my head.
Nice.
Because the wall was like all fucking gray and nasty.
Oh, yeah.
Because Gabe's old house, I don't remember the one by Winco. Do you remember that one?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And before it got remodeled,
the basement was actually like an unfinished basement.
Pretty much, yeah. There was like, I think there was a room where there was like dirt and stuff.
Root cellar. Probably.
There was something there, yeah.
That's probably, I mean, this was an old house.
But
isn't that weird? In a root cellar, they just had it just open, a dirt floor.
Underneath our garage outside, because we have a detached garage.
Yeah.
Underneath the garage, there's a room. I think it was a root cellar, but the floor's concrete though.
So that's kind of like in my house. There's this crawl space under the laundry room. Mm-hmm. That's like 4 feet tall and has a dirt floor. And I don't know why.
Under the floor?
Yeah, there's a crawl space opening.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe there's wiring underneath.
No, there's like no reason for it.
That's weird.
And I thought like the plumbing maybe, like so you can get to the plumbing. But the plumbing, they had to cut through the ceiling in the theater room.
That's so weird.
So I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. I don't know why it's there. I need to crawl back down there and peek around.
No, thanks.
I feel like
crawl spaces.
I feel like there's got to be something down there. Like somebody was like,
there's a body,
you know. Like, yeah.
You just see this decomposed skeleton.
It could be because I think they had plastic like laid down over the floor. So maybe it's like a Dexter thing.
So there's one of our clinics in Grandview that they have a basement, and it's huge, and it's still, there's part of it that's like still like unfinished, so it's got the dirt, and then it has like the plastic over that, and it's far. You know, we're talking a clinic, a pretty good sized clinic, and so it's like deep.
Yeah,
it's like the length of the house, if not longer. You know, and I didn't know about that when I first started working there for the company. I was helping one of my techs out when we were trying to feed some wire. We were using a fish tape because we were gonna pull some wire through what we thought conduit. And I'm fishing, and I'm like, what the fuck, man?
There's no way that this is 800 feet long.
Dude, I have a 50-foot fish tape, and I'm like almost out. And I'm like, dude,
where did it go?
This is maybe 10 feet.
Yeah.
This from here to here. And I'm like, what the hell? And so we start going to look. And then the tech at the time, he was like, oh, let's go to the basement over here. And we look, and sure enough, you see the fish tape just fucking
all over the place,
winding on the floor. And the funny thing, they didn't have conduit, so he had to stay down there
or rewire it.
And so I would put the wire down, and he'd grab it, and then we'd go to the next one, pull it, grab it. Man. So ghetto. And it was like it's not new clinic, but it's
but newish.
Yeah, like dude,
seems odd that you would like build a new building and leave this like the basement floor dirt That seems weird.
Yeah, but we always joke that there's bodies underneath there somewhere.
Whenever a patient dies, instead of acknowledging it, you're like, "Hey, just take him down to the bed."
We don't need that on our record.
We don't kill people.
Freaking there's another clinic in over actually in Woodburn, and I had to go in the crawl space because at the time my technician he just got his snippage.
Snippage, like
He got his nut
testy
snip.
snip.
Yeah. He got the vasectomy, and he was like, "Jesse, you're gonna need to jump down there." I'm like, all right. And so we're in the dental because that's another one where you have to like pull wires a certain way, and we're trying to figure out where to get to this part, and you have to go in this crawl space that's probably about 3.5 feet, maybe 4 feet, not quite though, but I had a hunch,
Yeah.
And I hated it because I had to go deep in there, and I'm like, what the fuck? There's gonna be something.
I'm gonna get murdered by.
I just
some
picture
creepy
like
guy
a little,
living down
little like devil thing, like poking its head out.
there. Right.
What would you do? You
right.
know?
Man, because every horror movie, that's exactly the way it works.
Yeah.
You go to a dark
Yeah. Fuck.
kind of like place where you don't have a lot of room.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you were in like Florida or something and there was an alligator hanging out down there?
Fuck. No.
How about that stuff happens?
It's just like I'm good.
I'm just chilling.
They're like, no, sir, we need you to finish the job.
Excuse me.
Are you fired?
We need internet, and we paid you.
Fuck you.
You get down there with that gator, you choke it out, and you get us the internet.
What do you think your survival situation is if you're
With a
trying to like
gator?
wrestle one?
Don't. I don't know.
I hear you poke him in the eye.
You get
That's
on
the
its
thing.
back, right?
Get on his back and poke it in the eye.
And you watch out for the tail. How big a gator are we talking about? I mean, like
15
full grown or 15 foot? Jesus.
Or is that a croc?
That's probably a crocodile. But gators get pretty big, probably like 10 feet.
Maybe.
So
Well, I was like, what was that? It might be the baby. We have my daughter's little boy, her stepson, I guess. He's upstairs. He's about, God, how old is he? Maybe 2?
maybe, yeah.
Maybe
About
1.5, 2, somewhere around there.
2-ish.
He's starting to talk a little bit.
Yeah, babbling. Yeah, he's probably like a little under 2 then.
Yeah. He's starting to talk. It's funny.
Blah, blah,
It's
blah,
kind of cute to have a baby running around the house.
Right, it's different.
Yeah.
They're playing with their toys.
Oh, yeah, you'll hear him running.
They're all goofy.
We went to the store yesterday. We were, Christmas shopping. It was like me and Alicia, and then it was Leo, both Leos, and then my daughter too. And it was I had a Tonka truck for the little one. Right, that's gonna be because he likes like trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm holding it, and Beamy, we're sitting there talking, and this lady comes up behind me. She goes, "Sir," and I was like. I turn around, I'm like, yeah. She's like, is that truck for your son? And I'm like, yes. I'm thinking she wants it. Like it was the last one.
Yeah.
She's like, make sure you wear ankle guards.
Oh, she's being funny.
She was, but she was so like deadpan.
Yeah.
Even when she was saying wear ankle guards, she didn't smile.
She meant it.
Like she was legit. Like I was like, oh, and I'm like thinking she was gonna like, don't get this because it's like,
There are
like
toxins in it.
like
Well, yeah, of course it is. It's plastic.
He made
shit.
no. This one's metal, but she made it sound like he needs the ankle guards or something. I'm like, so I was confused for a minute,
like,
but then I was like, oh, she's trying to be funny.
She never laughed. She just walked off.
She just walked off.
What a weirdo.
And then I go, oh, and when she said all that, I go, it is for my grandson.
Maybe she.
I go, it's for my grandson. So the mom and dad can they'll need to get those.
Yeah, there
It's
you
not
go.
for us.
You saved it.
Yeah.
She turned around and looked at you like, what a weirdo. Okay.
Probably like this.
More information I needed.
Sir,
Yeah.
Ma, it's a Mexican. He's trying to steal my.
Sir, are you kidnapping a child?
Leo goes, man, I thought I was gonna have to. We were gonna throw down over a truck the way she came at you.
Tonka truck. But it's metal, man. They don't make them like they used to.
No,
They
this
used
is a
to
metal
one of those metal ones. That's
Me and my cousins, I used to sit in the back of the truck, and my cousin and I would push each other.
nice.
And I think it was my cousin. We ended up running to the door or something. He had to get stitches.
Hey,
Playing rough as a
it
kid.
happens sometimes.
My mom broke my cousin's leg once.
playing rough as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom was folding the blanket. And it was like my cousin Jeffrey, like, I don't know how his leg got caught in a hole in the blanket.
Oh.
And she didn't see it. Like, he jumped.
She was going to fold that blanket.
Sorry, if I have to fold your leg.
Did she like force his leg to fold with the blanket? Like, what happened?
Mom, you got to comment once you hear this.
Yeah, I wasn't there, so I just.
This is off what I just couldn't remember. Yeah, I think he like kicked as she was like had it up.
Oh,
kind of thing. And,
so it just like timing wise, it just kind of.
And so he had to be in a wheelchair, I want to say, at this time because of it. And I think he had to relearn to walk a little.
Wow.
Because he was in it so long.
Yeah.
I think that's what my mom says. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
Because he was younger than us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a younger cousin.
It also broke his neck. So.
He was paraplegic. But he healed.
Thank God.
Oh, man.
Wow.
So what have you been up to?
Just kind of living life. It's been, like a lot of just work focus right now, the few weeks in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Trying to get little projects in, stuff like that.
It's so hard.
It's it's very busy and very energetic, which makes things about 10 times more difficult.
Energetic in the classroom or like?
Yeah, they're just amped. Totally amped. So like it takes a lot more to just keep everything kind of chill and moving.
Christmas, Santa Claus is coming.
Yeah, I love the holiday season, but at work it's like, ugh,
Do you have a like elf on the shelf?
We did. Somebody made the unfortunate decision to touch it, so
Well, you got
she left. She left. She went back to the North Pole because, as the book said, I mean, you don't touch the elf.
Oh, someone in class did?
Somebody did, and they kept saying, I touched it with a stick. It wasn't my hand. I was like, I don't know the bylaws, bro, but... And one girl was like, they're not real. I was like,
where is he?
This is a first grade classroom. It is definitely real.
Yeah, don't ruin it for everyone else.
Come on.
Yeah, that elf, man. He be hiding in some crazy part. He was in our cereal the other day.
Was he?
Yeah, Bippy. Ours is like a small guy. He's like that big.
From 1960, I think.
Yeah, he does.
He's a creepy old elf.
He is.
But he's been around a few Christmases. Our elf is not. It's your standard. He's like the new generation.
What's his name? Tony?
No, that would have been great. No, he's
he's all
Cody.
Oh, Cody.
Elena named him Cody when we got him. God, she was like probably a second grader.
That's crazy.
Because it was when they first came out. It was like probably year 2 where, for year 1, I was like, we're not getting one of those things. Year 2, I was like, God damn it. All right. Because we were at Beaver Bark and they were selling them everywhere. And she's like, I want one. I was like, all right.
I don't remember when we got ours. I don't know. I think it was when we were here, obviously.
Yeah.
At this house.
You were in this house because I remember it was it's probably around like the COVID time because I remember JJ and Elliot talking about it a lot.
Yeah.
And that's when you guys got Bibby.
Yep. And he, every year,
Yeah. Golly.
Gotta find a new place to hide that bitch.
Ours, he's not very creative. He just kind of bounces around from place to place. Last second, as he was kind of flying through the air, Elliot came up the stairs. It was crazy. And he barely had a chance to get somewhere. And he's now propped against. We have one of those like book stands for the cookbook in the kitchen. He's just resting against it. He's lazy. He's not a very creative elf.
Ours is in Santa's outhouse.
Yeah,
today.
This actually is like leading into something that I was going to talk about. Is like, the boys are in 5th grade. Mm-hmm. I think I was in 3rd grade when the magic kind of fizzled. Yeah. Have you heard any indication that the magic has fizzled at all for your kid?
He's questioned it.
Has he?
I think was it last year or something?
Yeah.
But so I just approached it like, well, what do you believe?
Think? Yeah, I've kind of had that conversation with Elliot. One time I got this sense, but he is really not showing any kind of like convincible sign that there's any questioning going on. I think it's maybe because they're younger. They're like the youngest, right?
Yeah.
And so there's like no reason at home to let that die. Maybe at school, but there's that parenting piece here that's like,
I'm holding on.
You're not gonna be the weirdo, right? Like at school, you acknowledge certain truths about the world, correct?
No, I
don't know.
Yeah, no, he's questioning it. Like I said, I just said, hey, well, what do you believe? I mean, you? And he's like, well, yeah. I'm like, well, there you go. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, it's difficult. I've never had a class of first graders that question it so much.
Well, I think a big part of it now, as opposed to when I like was younger and stuff, is you got this access to the World Wide Web.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? So like you're gonna come across like people.
Well, not everybody does, you know. Yeah, the Santa haters of the world.
Oh, they're out there.
But yeah, one little girl, like all the time, she's like, "It's not real," haha. And I'm like, "Hey, it, you know, it's real to some people, man. Like you know, it is what it is, and you don't want to just flat out like, you know, lie to a kid.
You know, and I don't think we've ever had any of our kids straight up say they don't believe.
Yeah,
It's either like they've acknowledged it somewhere.
It's kind of like religion, right? Like, to
Like,
me, in my
Elena,
mind,
I, you know, in my mind, she still believes in Santa, but I know she probably
but like
doesn't.
even as an adult, is there a little piece of your brain, even though that logically you know it's not true,
Oh yeah.
because you were raised with the idea that like there's this being Santa Claus? Like, is there a piece of your mind that's like, I wonder what Santa's doing right now?
Oh yeah.
Like, Santa's probably getting some presents wrapped.
I love
right
the
now.
idea of Santa.
I do too. I love the idea of this like fat guy up in the North Pole, like telling the elves, like, get your fucking work done.
He's not at the North Pole during the. He's maybe in the winter, but in the summer he's
Chilling on
down
the
the street. He runs a.
Yeah.
He does a. What are those cars?
He does the
Pilot
car.
He drives a pilot. He has a pilot car company.
That's cool.
Dude. The guy down the road looks
Spitting image.
spitting him. He got the belly, the big belly. His beard's not as long as it was, but I had a Spanish teacher. His name was Mr. Greeno. Right,
Mr. Gringo.
yeah, it was like
sense.
Greeno or
That
something.
makes sense.
You know, the cool man. This guy, he would have been a cool guy to like just talk to because he like would tell us these things. Like he was an ambassador for a while,
An ambassador?
U.S. ambassador.
And he ended up a teacher.
Yeah, Spanish teacher. So he would tell us about him being like in other countries and like he was probably what I pictured Santa to look like.
Yeah.
Legit. He had the biggest white beard, right? His eyebrows.
Did he have little spectacles, like little
He wore glasses.
little gold glasses?
He wore these, or he wore his eyebrows were even long.
Wow.
He had big bushy eyebrows,
Yeah.
like white ones.
Yeah.
And he was probably like 6'3".
Wow.
He's a big guy. Like, you know, I picture Santa not short.
Oh yeah. Right.
You know, I don't picture a short fat guy.
Do you think Santa's an elf?
No,
Some people say Santa's an elf. I'm like, no, Santa's a man.
Santa's a
He's a
big guy.
magical man.
You know,
He's
I
not
think
an
of think of the minions.
Yeah.
You know,
He
You got
enslaves the
Gru.
elves, right?
Gru has minions. That's the same concept, right?
Right.
And
right.
so no, he was like he looked so much like Santa. I even asked him,
Are
like,
you Santa Claus?
have you ever played Santa?
I thought you were gonna say, "Are you Santa?" And he's like, "You're in ninth grade.
I was in ninth grade.
you're in high school. Yeah.
He
What
was-
do you think?"
He was such a cool teacher, though. That was probably one of my favorite teachers. I was a TA for him,
Yeah.
and so I'd do the grades. And I remember I'd enter certain people in my class. I'd be like, I'll give them a
A
extra
little
grade.
bump.
That girl has
I'm
a
gonna
cute
give
butt.
you the Jesse bump.
Yeah, you have a cute little booty.
You're kind of dumb, but I'll give you a B.
Yeah. I got depantsed in that class. I'm sitting there talking to a girl. I
Oh boy,
was like leaning on.
Santa
like,
came and ripped your pants down.
We got a pedo.
Oh no.
No, it was one of my like a friend, acquaintance. I don't know. I would say friend, but I was cool with him. But yeah, I was
Until
like,
the day he pulled your pants down.
he was just trying to be funny. I had my boxers on, but I did it like I'm like sitting there leaning on the desk, kind of like she's in her desk, and I'm like leaning on the desk, and we're just kind of talking. And he comes up behind me, and he fucking pulls my pants down. I was like, "Fuck!" And I have my boxers on, thank God, and I just nonchalantly pull them back up mid combo.
Yeah, you
oh
didn't-
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, yeah, that was my dick you saw.
There were no pants pulled down here. I don't know what you saw, but yeah.
But yeah, no. But yeah, going back to Santa, I don't know. There hasn't been any like
Yeah.
questions. Like it was just that question. I think me saying, "Do you believe in?" He,
right.
Yeah. And Bippy really believes in Bippy, like for reals. Because the other day, Bippy was lazy. He didn't move.
Yeah, there are nights where they
The
just
next
don't
morning,
go.
he was like, "Bippy didn't move." I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." I was like, "Fuck." He's like, look at each other like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then he'll be like getting ready or not paying attention, but I'll just be able to get
Right,
and then move him, and then I'll do whatever I need to do to finish getting ready for my day. And I'll just be. He's like, Papa. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, Bippy, he's gone. I'm like, what do you mean? He's moved. And I was like, well, I just seen him right there. What are you talking about? Got to play it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, oh. So, I try to keep that.
Teach the kids, like, how good at lying we are.
That's true. So, sometimes people out there, you got to lie to your kids.
The wife's like, I've seen you lie about Bippy.
You're too good, and I question our relationship now.
You were with that whore last night, weren't you? I swear I wasn't.
I wasn't.
Hey, look over there. Daddy went back to the North Pole. Yeah, we watched the red one yesterday.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, like I wasn't like super excited about it. Like I'll be honest, like a lot of times.
it looks cheesy.
They hype movies a lot, and you're like, yeah, that's probably gonna be a crappy one because they hyped it so much. Actually, it's pretty good. I have to say.
I like J.K. Simmons or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
I like him.
It was a fun movie. It was way better than I expected it to be. And it was fun. Like Elliot actually watched it with us, which usually he's like, nah, that's okay. But he watched this one with us, and we had a good time. I fell asleep for a little while, but I woke up for the end. It was good. But the movie as a whole, like if I sit down, and Elliot always laughs, like Daddy always falls asleep. I had a puppy on me, one of our little baby puppies that was born a little while ago. She's really like kind of shaky and skittish, but she'll nuzzle into your neck. And she was so comfortable. She was like warm and just hanging out there. So I kind of fell asleep with her.
She put you out.
Yeah. And, but I woke up. I pretty well understood what was going on in the movie.
I'm sure it's not a hard plot line.
I mean, it's not very difficult to figure out. But it was pretty fun. And then we watched Dear Santa.
Dear Santa.
Which if you,
is that the Jack Black one?
Yeah.
He's like Satan or something?
It's dyslexic. So he sweetly writes a letter to Santa, but being dyslexic, he writes Satan. And Jack Black is like,
he's Satan.
A Satan character. And so the letter goes down to him. And it was funny. I mean, the whole idea of a kid thinking he wrote Santa and being Satan's pretty hysterical.
Yeah, we were just talking about that movie.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. So Blanca and I watched that. We went and did some shopping last night, and it felt very festive. We found some cool, we go to like Home Goods, that kind of crap. We found some like kitchen stuff, like for baking or for...
Oh, dude, they got some cool ass shit there.
Yeah, they had the big cookie sheets. I'm going to try to make something that a guy at work, our security officer, he makes like, I forget what it's called, almond roca. Oh. He makes it himself. It's a very technical, like I feel like I'm going to be Walter White trying to make this because it's like...
Well, bacon's very, for me anyway, it's very like...
Yeah, he said
precise.
It's like you have to actually measure the grams. Like you have to measure it to the gram. Like literal drug dealing stuff.
I don't know about that.
And then...
He must have had a past life for sure.
He's like, well, he was a cop. I mean, he probably, he probably knew a thing or two about this drug stuff. Yeah, you take the pure crystallized powder...
Chop it up.
No, but it's like there's a very specific. And he goes, and it's like the first time I tried it, because it's his girlfriend's family recipe. He's like, the first time I tried it, I was like, that's close enough. He's like, no, it was not. You have to have the temperature perfect. You have to have the exact amount for it to turn out right. So I was like,
so you have to boil like some candy or something.
So
because I have a candy thermometer.
It's yeah. I mean, so that's what I'm gonna have to do is like find one of those guys, and then I got to figure out how do you keep it at a perfect temperature.
It's close enough.
No, not to him. He's like, it's got to be. He goes, when you pour in the almonds, the temperature is gonna drop, and you have to get it back up before you pour it out. So,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's like he's like, if you do it right, it'll turn out every time. But he's like, I thought at first I could just kind of like guesstimate. He's like, no.
So what if you're off half a degree?
According to him, it's toast.
Oh man,
it's garbage. It's the worst candy ever. But I'm telling you, this.
Do you think he's actually? I guess you'll find out.
I'll find out. He's not.
Almond Roca's good.
He's a really cool guy, and he's not like a bullshitter. Airplane. Airplane. Oh, we're getting attacked.
That's the baby. If you guys heard that.
Goddamn you, Osama bin Laden. Yeah, that's the baby.
I know,
with his truck. You son of a bitch. You do it from the grave.
Oh shit.
Oh God.
That's cool.
Let's see. Yeah, Red One we watched. Worth a watch with the kids is definitely. Dear Santa. If you like Jack Black, very funny.
I want to see that one.
That one, I don't think there was anything too like. Actually, Dear Santa, the Red One had cussing in it.
Oh,
surprisingly,
all my kids are old, so I don't even worry about
yeah, so if you have little kids, just be aware of that.
it. They were watching The Grinch last night.
The Grinch, which one?
Jim Carrey.
The Jim Carrey one. Yep, that's a good one. I like to read The Grinch to the students and try to mimic that voice. The Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. The Jim Carrey Grinch voice. That was not the best, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. The ghost must have.
The ghost of Christmas past.
I don't know. That would be the Grinch. The Grinch is good though, but I was just cleaning. I didn't feel like watching anything. I was drinking. We decorated the tree and stuff yesterday. It was cool.
That's cool.
It was fun. It's fun to do that. Especially now that there's like a little baby kind of.
Yeah, right.
We've
It's like
kind of
the
taken,
cycle, right?
Yeah, we've kind of taken, Sadia's, fiance and his, his kid. Like that's now we look at him like he's our grandkid pretty much, and so. We'll play with him and stuff, but he was the.
We wouldn't even look at him before, but now we accept it.
No, but like, he was, helped decorating the tree, and then we had him put every year we all rotate like who puts the star on the tree. And so this was his. So we were like, me and Alicia were like, we'll just have him do it.
Yeah,
it'll be his year.
See, and it's cool that you guys do that.
That's kind of our tradition.
I stopped trying because I care about the traditions. The kids don't give two shits about it.
So the kids like, I think that tradition. I don't know if they all like it, but that's kind of the one. That no, we do hide the pickle every year.
And then you forget where the pickle is.
The kids love that one.
So what do you do for hide the pickle?
So like after
that sounds, not gonna lie, that sounds like a bad uncle game. Like, so please explain.
Hey kids, come here, I'm gonna hide the pickle.
All right, your turn this year, buddy. Like,
it was in my pants again the whole time.
Man. Oh.
But no, so like after obviously after we open presents and stuff, we'll hide the pickle.
Is it a real pickle?
In the tree. No, it's like an
ornament.
Okay. Pickle.
All right.
So we'll hide the pickle in a tree, in the tree.
Yeah.
And then the kids, whoever finds it, gets like an extra gift or prize that we have.
Dude, that's cool.
So we do that every year, and the kids they like that one.
I think Blanca wants to do, and I don't know where. I think we're doing like the cousin's birthday. Jesus' birthday. We're gonna do the cousin's Christmas thing, and we're gonna try to do the game that you guys showed us with the wrap. And the oven mitts.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to do that with them.
With Danielle and them.
Yeah, and then my brother's kids.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
we do that.
Cool time.
That's another one we do every year.
Yeah.
That or the box.
Yeah.
That one's kind of tough too. Oven mitts with a box wrapped up. Trying to open because you'll tape the shit out of the box.
Yeah.
And then you roll dice. Like, oh shit. But yeah, with the saran wrap one, that one's we'll use like a whole fucking roll and then we'll just wrap stuff into this fucking enormous bowl.
And whatever you get, it's like yours to keep.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's pretty fun. I like it.
Man.
But I don't know. Times are changing. New Year's coming.
Yeah, almost 2025. We're halfway through the 20s.
I'm looking forward to 2020. I feel like it's going to be a new. There's going to be a new
got
beginning.
kind of a new chapter going.
Yeah, like I'm in the process of probably switching jobs.
You made a goal. And look at that. You're almost there already.
Almost there.
That's pretty cool.
They came back after I counter-offered, which I've never done. Mm-hmm. But they came back to what I figured would be, the halfway mark.
And it was acceptable to you?
Yeah.
Hey,
it's a little less than I make now, but it's not like
significant.
Yeah, it's like
you'll be within the realm.
I'll just get rid of this streaming service and I'll make up for it or something.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that pretty much.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think I'll be starting that probably in 2025. You know what I mean? I think that's probably when to start. I just have to wait for the background check.
January, yeah.
All I know is
Well, the cool thing is that it's like out at Hanford, and if you get out there, you can ultimately make way more.
I don't know. It's just the process is just like I just want it over with already.
Yeah.
Can you guys hurry up? So I'm making a trip right now. Today I'm going to be leaving to Oregon for a few days. I'm going to come back. I think it was Thursday. I'll be back because Beamy, his birthday's on the 20th, and then. And then, I think we're going to be doing a Christmas this coming weekend.
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing too with the cousins.
Same with the Alicia sisters and stuff. But we'll see, because no one can make it, I guess, for Christmas. They're worried about the roads, which I get.
Yeah, I don't know, though. We were supposed to get snow this weekend. It turned into rain. Like, it's not even...
It snowed in Yakima.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually a little different. If you look at the map...
I think we're lower, though.
We are lower. Like, if you looked at it the other night when we had, like, snow in our area, it was snow around us, and then we were green on the radar map. Just, like, right where we were. It was, like, a little pocket of just rain.
Yep, that's
wild. Until we get that plummeting temperature, if we do what we did a few years ago, where we had that, like, winter vortex or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that was nuts, but I don't know. It doesn't happen very often.
I love the snow.
Yeah,
I know people hate it. Oh man, I don't want to drive. I'm like, I know driving sucks.
With it. I just the kids get so amped up. Anything that gets kids amped up, I don't like. So I want
just
my
feed
life
them like
easy.
Robitussin or something. Here you go, kids.
That's acceptable.
Like I'm so tired. I'm always
everyone
tired.
Would understand. I gave your kids some Robitussin.
Everyone, line up. You're getting some whiskey.
just a thimbleful.
Can you imagine if they did that? They probably did that back in the day.
Man, they're nuts.
Back in the 30s or something crazy.
Just a spoonful of heroin makes your kid calm down.
Timmy's always so sleepy during the day. Why?
He comes home so tired. We teach so hard.
It's like crazy.
We don't drug the kids ever.
No, that would be crazy.
Just to make it clear, kids are never drugged.
Jokes, people.
But yeah, it's a good time. It's very energetic. We're getting the parent gift all wrapped up, done.
Yeah, we're still got a few more things to get.
Oh yeah, we do too. I finally I just let Elliot download some video games, and I was like, do you want some of these for Christmas? And he's like, yeah. It's like, I'll let you do some early.
Yeah.
Just know that like there won't be as much under the tree, but because it's like, yeah, half the stuff he wants isn't like wrappable anymore.
Yeah, that's
so it's like, I don't know. It's different, but
I swear as the kids get older, it gets kind of tough.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Cheeky she's good about like giving us a list.
Uh-huh.
And it's it's a reasonable list. It's not like some crazy stuff, obviously.
Right.
But and then Elena can be kind of difficult. Not the fact that she's like difficult.
She's not difficult at all. That's what makes it so tricky.
But I don't want to get her this. I always get her. It's always the same stuff.
Right.
But I don't want her to. I like to give her different things.
But she likes very odd things. It's like whatever she needs for like a little art project thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's very specific to a thing that she's doing because she's very creative.
Yeah,
that's great. But it's very difficult to figure out, well, what's that right thing?
So I had text her like, hey, is there anything you want? And so I was expecting nothing back. Like, no, I'm good. I don't know. But she actually sent me.
She had some specifics.
Yeah, she had some specifics. I was like, all right, okay. I like, I love that she did that.
Nice.
Normally it's like, nah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, she had sent me a list. I'm like, all right, cool. This is doable.
One day we need to get her like working on sewing or something. Can you imagine the costume she can make herself?
I'm sure it's coming.
That kid, she is very creative in a unique way.
It's like, I don't know, all the kids, all our kids are really creative. Like Cheeky's really good with like artsy stuff too.
Yeah.
She likes
the
ceramics.
Body art stuff that she was doing a few years ago where she was like making cuts and stuff.
Yeah,
on her
she
face.
still does
That's
that.
crazy.
She'll do that, or she'll like draw tattoos on herself.
Hannah.
Ceramic-y things.
Yeah.
She does that in her ceramics class.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool.
I enjoyed ceramics class. My mom still puts out a pumpkin I made.
Does she?
It was like...
Mine would be all melted and sick.
It looked pretty cool. And it looks like one you'd buy in the store by accident.
Oh, okay.
So like we had to dip
bitch.
them in the glazes, right?
Okay.
Well, I tried to make the glaze for the for the leaves green, and then the pumpkin part orange. Well, being a stupid kid in high school, I just assumed like mint green was going to be mint green when it fired, and that orange was going to be orange when it fired, and it's not at all. Like they change when they fire, right?
I guess
so it ended up kind of like white on top, but like that look like it spread down.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like what you'd see in a store, and then the bottom was kind of like a pumpkin spice kind of color.
Oh, that's cool.
And it ended up looking pretty neat. So my mom still puts that out.
Yeah, I've never did ceramics. I think it'd be cool. I just always picture.
We never did the wheel. I never got to that point, but we did like hand crafted stuff.
I think Cheeky was saying they were going to do that.
Yeah, I think if you go beyond like ceramics 101, whatever that is, basic ceramics, then you can do the wheel.
I picture just the movie Ghost.
Yeah, right.
Where she's doing the wheel, and then he comes behind her, and he's
behind her with his hands.
That's the only thing I picture. The only thing I could probably make is like a phallic-y.
Right.
Phallic-y.
When you push it together and pull it up, and smash it back down.
That's about it.
Yeah, I just made a dick. It's pretty cool.
Ceramic.
Ceramic dick.
And that would still look like shit.
I told you, I think, and I think I shared with the audience, and we went to that stone store in downtown Kennewick.
Oh, okay.
And we're looking at my nephew, is very into princess stuff, and he wanted an amulet.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
we were like, yeah. And so we went, and there was a stone penis. I was like, this is really weird.
It's fertility.
I need to get out of
fertility.
Fertility. It probably was. To be
You know what I mean?
with you, yeah.
It's like, this will help your wife get pregnant.
Here.
Don't need that.
There's another man's sperm in this. Use this, and she will get pregnant.
That's so gross.
The whole thing is kind of, I don't know how I feel about that, like, stuff. Block always gets, like, annoyed at me. She's like, you don't believe in anything mystical or whatever. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, do I think that there's energy in everything? I do. Do I believe that there's enough energy to actually do anything? I would like to see some empirical data on that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you there. Like, some of the stuff I like to believe in some mystical stuff.
To each their own. If you're into stones and stuff and you swear it works, good for you.
So, like I've mentioned before, I love the show Supernatural. There was this one year I was like, I think it was when I was at Charter College. I was Googling stuff on like monsters, lore, to see how accurate, like I was figuring out a lot of it's pretty, like there's a lot of lore behind a lot of the shows.
Sure.
But I've come across this website. It was like Monsters and Gods. And then so when you go through it, there's be like a section where it's like ghost stories or like, and these are real stories people submit. But then there's one where it's like, it was like Ode to a Vampire or something. And if you say this poem,
a vampire comes.
Will appear. Yeah.
Did you say it?
No, I was thinking it would fucking happen. I don't want a vampire to come. What if it did? Because there's that in the back of your head, in the back of my mind, I'm like,
yeah.
But what if it did?
Because then you're going to be in the basement of one of your buildings, and all of a sudden you're going to hear a little rustle. Come to me, Jay-Z. I will suck your blood.
He's going to sound like
creepy?
the Count.
This kind of vampire? Or this kind of vampire? Where
probably
they got
the long
two teeth. I think the two teeth in the front
look like a retarded rabbit.
Yeah, that's the scary one.
Oh, you're so scary.
It's like chewing on a guy's finger. Oh God.
I don't know. I think the long-fingered one's kind of like more creepy to me.
It's kind of interesting now that I think about it. The new Pennywise, right? He has those like two longer teeth.
Yeah.
And the Nosferatu vampire has like two sharp teeth in the front, not the two canines.
Yeah, like the like typical.
Yeah, what's that guy that was more like sexy? The old Vincent Price kind of vampire, like
like the
with the slicked back
interview
hair.
with a vampire.
Yeah, hello,
like
let me into your home, and he's in a tuxedo.
Oh yeah, because he's very like Rico Suave.
Count Orlok, man. I am so stoked for the new movie.
Oh, the Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. It's going to be with the guy who said
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård. He's going to blow it out of the water, I'm sure.
Watch it suck.
Oh, I'd be mad. But I don't see that happening.
No, I'm sure the critics are going to be like, this movie sucks. But then everyone else who's not a critic is like, it's great.
Yeah.
That's who I believe. The people.
Well, when so there's a scene in that because it's based on Dracula, right? It was like the original
Count Dracula.
It was the original movie form, and I think what it was is they didn't get the rights to the name Dracula because it was Bram Stoker's book.
Oh, yeah.
And so they called it Nosferatu, and it was a foreign film. It was actually like a German film, I think. And it was in the 1920s that it was made. But there's like a scene, and all the different versions they've added this scene where he cuts himself on accident, and Orlok jumps at him and grabs his finger and like sucks the blood. It's so creepy.
That's creepy.
It's cool, man. But they're releasing it on Christmas Day.
That's cool.
No, it's not.
Some people.
I know, but come on, man. Like it's
Halloween.
Christmas. Yeah. It should have been Halloween, but that's my only.
No, I was gonna say some people's traditions though is going to the movies on Christmas.
I know.
I want to say when I with my mom and stuff, there would be times like I think it was either Christmas or Thanksgiving, but we'd sometimes go to the movies.
My girlfriend in high school, her family did that on Christmas, and it was fine. I went with them one year.
This is garbage.
But, if it's for me, it's about family stuff. But they didn't have family that lived around, so I get it. Like, it's different if you don't, but...
Yeah, I don't know if I would. Sorry, kids. Me and your mom are going on a date.
I probably will this year, just because the movie's coming out. Like, I'm not going to not go see it, but I'll do it at night. I'm not going to do it during Christmas Day. I'll wait till nighttime where it's like Christmas is over.
And I just hate that I have to work the next day. That fucking sucks.
That does suck.
Like, fuck, man, just give us Christmas off.
Guess who doesn't have to?
Yeah, you're off till what? The end of New Year, right?
Yeah, we get 2 weeks. We get 2 full weeks this year. It's a Friday through a Monday. So
that's cool. Like,
yeah, I do like that.
The kids, I think, Friday's their last day. Then that following week I have to work in Toppenish that week.
Yeah,
but that was that was of my choosing.
Gotcha.
Oh, me and Alicia might do not a fun run. I guess no run. It's fun, but the Cable Bridge run here next week.
Is that next week?
Yeah,
I did that several years ago. It's like a 5K.
There's a 5K and a 10K.
Yeah,
so I might do the 10K.
Really?
She's gonna do the 5K. I'm gonna do the 10K.
Nice. That's cool.
Because Mark, the coach over there at Orange Theory, he's like, "You gonna do it?" I'm like, "I'm down, man. Did you sign up?" I go, "Yep, I signed up already," which I haven't signed up.
Oh,
I need to sign up.
It's a crazy run. It's pretty cool. Like
Nick was telling me you have to shuttle back or something like that, or there's not like a. It sounds terrible, that part. Be like, "Hey Tom, can you come pick me up?"
You got a bareback. Sorry, bro.
Got a bareback. Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's the only way to go.
Yeah. There's an orgy beforehand.
But I don't know. So I'll be looking forward to that.
That's cool.
But I worked out with Mark because I was in Spokane for work on Tuesday night. I had to work there, so we stayed. I came home Wednesday. So I worked out like that night, Wednesday, and Mark was there. He was working out.
Oh.
And then he saw my name, I think, and then he's like, "You ready to run?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "All right, we're going, me and you."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Fuck." And then I look, he signed me up next to him.
Oh.
I'm like, "Great." So I was running. He's like, he's competitive. So then
you guys are trying to outdo each other?
Yeah. And then he, like when we were, because then you'd run, and then we had to get off in a row.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
And it was like 30 seconds, all out rows. And then you go, and then you do like 2 or 3 of those in a row, the rowing. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it was 3 30-second all outs in a row. And then you had to get back and finish the run.
Which is not easy.
Oh, my God. After the row, because he's competing, so I'm not going to be bitch either. So I'm like, we were all, both me and him, we were just like, oh, my God. We're so dead. Then we get on the treadmill, and it's just like, oh, man, that was hard. But no, I outran him.
Nice.
He goes, fuck you, Jesse. But he's like, no one's, like, I guess I'm one of 2 people that ever beat him on the treadmill.
Wow, nice. But you were a runner in high school. It makes sense.
Yeah. He was like saying in the class, he's like, man, you humbled me. He was saying in the next day in the class, he's like, yep. But Jesse's younger than me, so it's okay. And Alicia looks at me, aren't you older than him? I go, yeah. He's in his 30s.
Funny. That's funny. Yeah, Adrian had his birthday the other day, and he was saying like, "I'm an old man now. I'm 33." I'm like, "Fuck you, Adrian."
Yeah.
Adrian's a cool guy.
He was sick. I think he might have had the vid.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife's got it.
I know that sucks. But she was good enough to go shopping then.
She took medicine.
Oh.
You know, what do you call it? Ibuprofen or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And she feels okay when she's on that. But
Yeah, being sick sucks.
she was gonna, like, we were talking about not going because I'm like, well, but at this point, everybody fucking spreads it everywhere, so it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, he was sick, and then Mark was saying like someone else was getting sick, so he's like, well, just make sure you guys wipe down good. Or
Yeah.
I went there I had COVID.
Yeah.
Remember when I had COVID?
Mm-hmm.
I worked out. I was like, fuck it. They got a machine that says
fuck all them.
It says they got a machine that like sucks out all the COVID.
It
So
does, yeah, instantly, boom, vaporized. It just goes through everybody else on its way to the machine.
yeah. So it was fine.
Yeah, I could have it because I've got a little bit of, but I don't know.
Just don't cough on me.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Well, yeah, no, we were gone for a week because last week you had something going on, right?
Yeah, what was going on last week?
Oh, electrical issues.
Oh yeah. The little house had a loose wire in the box.
It was just
That's
the wire.
what it was. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be the
breaker.
The breaker, but
breaker.
We got the breaker out and looked, and there was one of the neutral wires was burnt.
Oh.
So I had to tighten that down. It was super loose.
Oh.
Got that tightened down, got the breaker back in, and everything worked fine.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Fred
Could have
didn't
had a
have to
house
come?
fire. He did come,
Oh.
but it was easy anyway.
Oh,
like
that's
when I just assumed it was going to be the breaker, so I went to get a new breaker. Well, of course, it was like this unique breaker.
Of course.
Where 4 of them are stuck together in a very particular pattern.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't just go buy it off the shelf. So I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm going to need your help because I got to figure out some other way.
Oh,
to
they don't
finagle
just have one of those?
No, not like that.
Oh.
No, of course not. Because mine, that whole panel, it's in these blocks.
Yeah.
Instead of just being the individual little breaker. And so he was going to come over to help figure that out. And he's like, well, we should probably test all like the wires. I was like, well, that one looks kind of burnt. And he went like this, and the whole thing just tightened. I was like, shit, that was the problem. I'll bet the breaker will work. So we put the breaker back in, and everything was fine.
Oh, nice. That's good.
So that worked out great because that breaker would probably be pretty expensive because it's the 4 altogether.
The 4, yeah. I was gonna, when we were thinking about doing a tankless heater, water heater, I was gonna rewire. I would have to like rewire some, like get a breaker or do something. So I like would watch online. I'm like, I could do that.
It's not that hard as long
It didn't
as
look
you
that
get
hard.
the power turned off. It's just yeah, that's the only thing is I like having Fred there because when you're talking about, the full ampage of
Well, because you got that main that comes to the breaker box.
well, the main never is off. I mean,
you'd have to get
that
the city to
still
turn that
has
shit.
power, and then like the wires are right there, so you just got to make sure you do not touch that. But I mean, everything else is pretty.
Wake you up a little bit.
Yeah, fry you from the inside, but no, the wiring itself is pretty straightforward.
How instant is it when they're like on those huge power lines?
Yeah, the problem is you can't let go.
Well, no, I mean, I wonder how instant that death is because it's like million volts coming through you or something. Crazy.
We were at the Salmon Summit with Elliot last year, where they release all the little salmon into the river. It's pretty cool. But they have all these different like people there doing different stations, and one of them is the PUD.
Okay.
And they've got the truck that has like the live wires on it, and they have hot dogs that they put up, and they touch it, and it bursts into flame. And they bring it down. The guy said, like, you don't die right away, but what it does is like literally it cooks you from the inside out.
Ooh.
So like if you're able to get off of the wire, then you might feel, if you're not dead, you might feel okay for a minute, but it's gonna start cooking you. Like you're gonna basically like a radiation. Like you're gonna
Oh, it's just gonna spread.
Yeah, from the core out, not from the out in.
That'd be sucky.
Yeah, because of the way the electricity works, it wants to ground itself. So it goes from the entry point, wherever that is,
and looking for
straight through you down to the ground.
Ooh.
So you're going to have a burn wherever you made contact and a burn wherever it left your body. And then everything in between is going to essentially be burnt.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. It'd be not fun.
When I was younger, we were at I think her name was Karen, my Aunt Karen, or I don't know. It was my stepsister's aunt's house.
Yeah.
And I did the smart thing as a kid, and I put a paper clip in a socket, and that shit burnt all my fingies.
Oh yeah.
It's like I fucking took out half the house's power.
Well, the breaker did what it was supposed to do. It tripped.
Yeah.
So can you imagine if you didn't have a breaker that worked? It would just continue to flow through you, and it makes your muscles tense up so you can't let go.
Yeah, there's this machine that you can get, or you can go to like a arcade, and essentially it's a electric chair, but the way it vibrates, but the goal is to like let go, and it's so hard.
Oh my god!
So I couldn't imagine like being electrocuted.
Do you remember the Green Mile, where the guy was supposed to put the water on the
Fuck
sponge?
that guy.
And didn't,
He pissed me off so
and the
much.
guy like burnt.
yeah.
It's awful. It was such
Dude,
so
that guy was
bad.
such
I
a
know
dick.
he was, man.
I wanted to electrocute him.
Didn't the
'Cause he was
Green
so-
Mile guy like put his hand on the guy and like kill him at one point or something? Or what happened?
Yeah, he
Something
transferred
happened to that.
something
No,
to
no,
him.
no. That guy ended up going to the prison.
Yeah.
That's right. He went to prison because he was so awful.
He was a piece of shit.
What
Dude.
a garbage person.
That was such a good movie. That pissed me off though.
It's not funny, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit funny.
It is kind of funny. Well, it's not, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
not
got
really,
you.
but it's a little bit funny.
But no, I don't know.
But yeah.
That's crazy.
You got a what time are we at? We're pretty close.
No,
You got a question of the week?
Yeah, it's a marriage question.
Yeah, it was a good one. This
Because
time.
marriage is fun sometimes, and sometimes it's not.
It's usually fun.
Let's see. Oh, this one. I think it was this one. So the question is, what role did your upbringing or family values play in your view of marriage?
Yeah,
So,
and like how you like
would approach
how
your
you
own
work in
I guess.
marriage. Yeah, Blanca and I have had a lot of work in that area because we not only do we have a marriage like everybody, but we have a multicultural marriage. So like I'm a white guy, obviously.
Yeah.
She's Hispanic. There are a lot of cultural differences
Yeah,
that
that's
make
true.
it very difficult. I mean, truthfully, like the first few years together, it was very hard for both of us not to be somewhat judgmental of each other.
Yeah,
Just because, not like out of a cruelty or like a
it's just you
racist kind
did
of way,
things
but
differently.
when you're emotionally attached a certain way, like especially like holidays,
Yeah,
we had certain norms, like family expectations. Like for my family, maybe it's not so much like a race thing. It's just any kind of culture, like family culture.
Yeah.
But my family is very rigid and structured. Like there's a time things start. You're there on time. There's like kind of a programmed
yeah,
expectation.
itinerary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And her family is
no,
very opposite. Like there is no structure to anything. You find out 5 minutes before when you're supposed to be there, whatever. And that caused a lot of tension where both of us could kind of feel judged.
Yeah.
Like you feel the pressure from your family to do certain things. And yeah, so it definitely took.
Were you ever like when you guys were going to like maybe like her family side of the house's events, but Blanca's like gonna be late. Were you ever like get anxious? Where you're like, come on, we gotta go, we need to be there. They said 7:00.
The first, I mean, I don't think probably the very first Christmas because, like when you're in the infatuation mode, nothing else matters but that person. But when you start getting out of the infatuation and into like the normal life mode, yeah, there was a year where I was definitely like, the whole time I was at her family, I felt stressed and I wasn't really in the moment, which isn't fair at all,
Yeah, and that was probably
because I knew my mom was going to be super stressed if we weren't there on time. So all I could think about was not disappointing my mom.
yeah.
And it just didn't work very well. So, we've gotten to a point now where we've really kind of blended the two things. Like, I think it's a matter of giving it some time and getting through the tough parts where you just realize, in our case, I think there are definitely like, racial differences in general. But then there's just like I was saying, like there's just family, whatever. It doesn't matter if it's a multiracial thing or just your different families.
Yeah.
There are differences that you've got to you kind of have to break down your old norms and have the time to blend them into something that is yours. And after a decade, we're kind of there. Like there are certain things sets, and my mom and dad aren't here anymore on Christmas. They're down in Arizona. That makes it really easy on Christmas because we just go to Louis. It's no big deal.
Well, and I mean, the cool thing is, like you said, you guys are going to be celebrating Christmas. You guys already celebrated Christmas, really, with your parents.
We did with my parents, yeah. So that part's done.
So that's cool.
Yeah, so we just do a bunch of different Christmas things, and
I'm wondering how. I don't know if mine, because I kind of grew up like my mom was like a single mom, but she like I had stepdads, but they were just kind of like piece of garbage to me. And so I guess for me, my view was like, okay, don't be like that. Like,
yeah. So you're trying to kind of make up.
Don't beat women. Okay, that's cool. That's the easy one not to do.
Usually.
Don't go to prison. Oh, that's a easier one to do.
Check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So far, so good.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I think I looked at things more as like a respect. Like respect your spouse or respect your person.
Yeah.
So I never really had that. Like you grew up, you had mom, dad. You had that traditional family,
right,
that you could see. Blanca's probably was a little different because it was just mom,
right,
and then even like with Alicia, it was just her mom, and then she had a stepdad that was in the picture for a bit. But yeah, I don't know what mine like had me view marriages. I think it's just more of like, communication seems to be a very important aspect of it, which is something that's still a work in progress for me.
I think it always is.
Sometimes I communicate really well. Sometimes I forget things.
Well, I think when it's emotional,
it's
like that's where the communication starts to falter, is when you're emotionally dealing with something as opposed to like intellectually dealing with it.
Yeah, and I think on the emotional side, it's my issues. Like if I'm going through something, a lot of times I can fall into that old habit of just kind of leaving it inside. You know what I mean? Like it's in my brain, and that's where it is. And then I get kind of distant in a sense.
I gotcha.
Instead of like, you did this and it kind of upset me. I don't know. Sometimes I get into that old habit of just like, fuck it. You piss me off, I'm going to ignore you and not bring anything up. And so sometimes I got to learn to, sometimes get out of that. And that's like one of those, you get self-awareness things where you just kind of got to be self-aware of what you're doing.
And what's really funny is like Blanca and I kind of started in opposite places and ended up in opposite places. In the beginning of our relationship, she was probably the less mature one when it came to handling things like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, in a position, I think I felt like I had to be that person.
Yeah.
But as we've gotten into our marriage, it's flip-flopped. Where now, like, I've let loose a little more. So if I shut down, I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And she's the one that will, like, bring me in and be like, no, like, we actually need to talk about it.
Yeah.
And, it's really cool when you get to a place with somebody where you're kind of through that phase where maybe it's going to end, or like, like there's that superficial love, and you get to that place where there's like a real investment in each other where it's not just going to go away, and you get to that place where that, good moments, bad moments, when you get to the end of it, you're going to work it out. You're going to talk about it. And you get to that place where you have those experiences where you trust the person.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a huge part, is just trusting them.
Yeah.
And just letting your guard down sometimes. Because I think a lot of times, as just like, I don't know if it's just a man thing. Sometimes you guard yourself, your emotions.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you don't want to feel some type of way, but
a lot of, again, we've talked about this before. The issue in our culture for men is, even if you think of yourself as more of like an open-minded man, or like the new man we are not taught how to be truly connected with our emotions. Like, there is a huge expectation that if you're weak, you show these emotions.
Yeah.
So even a man that's like open to emotions, there are still certain emotions that they're not going to show in certain ways.
Oh, for sure.
Because you're not taught how to do it.
You don't even know how to do them.
Are you going to cry? Are you going to cry in front of people?
Probably not.
No. Now, if you're drunk, but like generally speaking, it's very rare to see, because I don't usually feel the need to cry. I will every once in a while, like if somebody really close to me dies, there'll be moments where I have to let it out.
Yeah, I rarely cry.
But I mean, even then, it's kind of like a minute, and then you're kind of over it, and you move on. And yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
The only time I'll actually cry, not cry like blubbery or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to Leo about this. We were talking about music and how like music makes you feel certain emotions.
Oh, sure.
Right? So there'll be times where I'll be listening to something, and I think music for me is very emotional. But there'll be certain songs or something that I like relate to.
Sure.
Or they'll say something about that song I really like. Something about it resides really deep in me. And there's been moments where I've cried.
Oh,
like,
sure.
Tears start coming out, and I'm like, fuck, you know, and then I'll re-listen to the song just to get that little tear out again.
Dude,
I don't know why, but it's done that.
I had a similar experience last year when I was painting the living room and like doing the flooring and everything. I had one of my favorite shows ever, Midnight Mass.
Oh, yeah.
I had that on, and there's a scene where this one character, she loses her baby. Like, she's pregnant and she loses the baby.
That's sad.
And she and her, he's not like her boyfriend, but there's definitely like kind of a romantic interest between them. But anyway, whatever. But they're having this discussion about death. And he's like, I don't think that like there's a heaven or anything. I think it's just your energy, and the energy dissipates and you become one with like what's always been, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like this very like deep view of all this stuff, and she listens to him, and then it like the music starts playing softly in the background. She goes, well, my baby never had a chance to do this.
Oh, dang.
And it's like slowly zooming in on her face, and she has like this 5-minute monologue where she's talking about this like little baby dying and going to heaven and finding everyone that ever loved her and ever would love her and blah blah blah. And I just like being like, fucking hey, man, I listened to this thing like 50 times, and like you said, for whatever reason in this moment, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no.
Little baby never got a chance to live, man.
He's like, girl, I wasn't even talking about your baby.
Yeah, he's like, okay, all right.
You've been waiting for that.
Yeah, okay, so my energy thinks is bullshit. All right. Typical woman, always gonna be right.
How are you gonna bring it about yourself?
Nah, man, that show's so good though.
I don't know if I've never watched it.
Oh man, it is.
But
so
yeah, no,
good.
I don't know. That's about the only
Yeah,
time
I'm
I
with
cried.
you though. One time I cried. What's that gal? She's the British lady that's like, she's kind of weird. She won one of like, I think she won the original show on Fox, like the very first singing show, American Idol.
Oh, okay.
Susan Boyle.
Oh yeah.
She did
She's a good singer.
version of wasn't Amazing Grace. What was it?
Hallelujah.
It was one of those songs.
Yeah.
It was so haunting. And I was in a very bad time in my life. And I was like, oh my God.
She had a good voice though.
So there are moments when you're alone where you just put on some Susan Boyle and let loose.
I haven't heard that name in years. No,
Nah, she's the voice of an angel.
I don't think I've ever had like just straight
my
up.
God,
I
what
think
was
the
that
last time I actually cried in front of anybody was a few years ago when I like got stupid drunk for Christmas and then came over to Louis.
Do you cry?
I kind of cried a little
You
bit that day.
teared up.
I just was I was
Very
still
manly.
drunk.
You cleared up. You teared up.
Oh, I'm such a piece of shit.
I hate myself.
Yeah.
Nah, that was cool. That was masculine. But
I'm such dog shit. But no,
that one, How Great Thou Art, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a good song. Good song, Susan.
Good time,
Susan
Sue.
Boyle.
Susie Sue.
Yeah.
But,
Man, it's nuts. I don't know, but marriage, man.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It'll test you. You'll have moments where you fight. You'll have moments where you don't see eye to eye, but
yeah, like me and Alicia, I feel like we have a pretty strong marriage. Yeah, we have our moments where we like yesterday I had a couple drinks and then she was just like we're I'm just I'm having fun in the moment, decorating the tree, and she's just like, are you drunk? Like I'm trying to be, because I'm being silly, and I was like, no, I'm just like, and it put me in a bad mood. But obviously, and then my dumbass being petty was like, I'm gonna get drunk now. And so that's probably not a smart move to do. That's just being immature.
But marriage is also helping each other through those things.
But like, when I look at it through her eyes, she's doesn't want, my past is, not the best when I drink. Sure. Not that I was like a violent drunk or anything.
No,
like
but I know what you mean. She doesn't want you like missing out on the moment for your kids.
Yeah, but I was, at that moment I was just like, I'm actually just having a good time with everyone.
Yeah.
Like, why are you always having to say this? That's where I was coming from. But obviously I need to look at it through her eyes too, where it's like, she's so used to, she doesn't want me to fall in those habits, and so she's just like, that puts her on edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I think that's another aspect of marriage that's probably important too, is just sometimes you got to look at your partner's viewpoint, not just your own. You know what I mean? And so obviously I, that's, in the moment I didn't look at it that way. I was just more angry. So,
well, it's hard to do, again, when it's the emotional driver.
Because I'm not
it's not the intellectual driver.
And I'm not normally like goofy and being like, I'm goofy, but I'm like,
I know what you mean.
Normally I'm very quiet, reserved.
So when you're when you're in that mode and you're feeling like you're connecting with everybody and you're having a good time, and it's not because of the alcohol, it's just you're having a drink, but like you had mentioned to me earlier, like you weren't feeling anything.
Yeah, no, I felt fine.
I felt like drinking a glass of water essentially at that point.
Yeah, I think I had maybe a glass at that point, just and I, like I said, I feel when I have my glass, it's just all ice, and then I
right.
But like,
right.
I always say it's all ice, just so you guys know.
It's all ice and then very little alcohol.
But but I was fine. But it was just I let loose. But then that like puts me back in my like, okay, maybe I shouldn't.
Right.
Because now I'm going to be questioned all the time. Like, oh, you're probably because you're drunk.
I got you.
That's how I look at it.
Are you happy? You must be drunk, you son of a bitch. You're having too much fun, you drunk son of a bitch.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. And then, I did get too drunk. But obviously I didn't, I just kind of kept to myself last night.
That's a healthy thing.
That's usually what I do anyway. I passed out on the toilet. That's even healthier.
The most fun thing to do is to get drunk by yourself.
Yeah. And then I went in the room and fell asleep.
There you go.
And woke up at 7.
There you go.
Because the dog wouldn't need to go outside. So
I was
like I said, I'm not I don't do anything crazy when I drink.
Yeah.
Which is good.
That's good.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I can't drink that much anymore. I hate the hangover feeling.
Yeah. That's I have a slight feel like that, but I right now I feel fine. But
I'm not gonna say I don't drink anything. I mean, I have some beers or I have a glass of wine or whatever, but it's I don't know, like that feeling.
No, I hate it. I had told Alicia, I think I'm just when I drink, I think I was just going to save those for Saturday.
Yeah.
Because Sunday, I don't typically work out. So I'm going to just drink. And then Sunday, if I'm feeling icky.
Then you can just kind of.
Because if I drink, sometimes I don't sleep the best, depending.
Right.
Obviously. If I overindulge.
Right. If you overindulge, nobody sleeps well. It's not real deep sleep.
No. And so not saying that's how I'm going to be every Saturday, but
so Saturday's my drinking day.
But Saturdays are going to be reserved to.
Isn't that
days? If I am going to drink, it'll be a Saturday, not like a weekday or something.
Yeah,
man, I've gone to the gym after drinking.
The toots, the alcohol toots.
Oh, bro, they stink.
The hot butt toots.
Just jittery and just
throwing up.
I haven't had that in a long time, but
man,
I don't know, but I don't know. That's all I got for today.
That's all I got too.
Thank you,
everybody. Hey, in a week, we'll be very close to the holiday.
Hell yeah,
very close.
That's
the time is upon us.
I know. It's so close.
Yeah, I love this time of year. Relax, enjoy. To all my teacher friends, hang in there.
Yeah.
These little angels are just excited.
They're just excited for Santa.
Just excited for Santa Claus.
He's not real.
Yeah.
To that little girl that thinks he's not real, he's real in a lot of kids' heart.
Yeah. You're still an awesome kid, but You got to stop talking about that.
One of her parents just straight up said, "No, he's not."
I don't know.
It's on
Maybe.
me.
I mean, everybody has their own views, and so it's.
And
fine.
then you got anti-Santa people out there. Screw you.
Yeah,
That's fucked
you know
up.
what?
Just
Santa's
enjoy it.
real, and he don't like you if you don't believe in him.
Yeah, I think Santa's
You
actually
know what
a
happens if
mobster.
people don't believe in Santa? You go to hell. So
I like to think Santa speaks like Tony Soprano.
yeah, Jesus Christ! I got you a fucking present. You say I'm not real? Fuck you.
Oh, I want to see
Yeah.
that Santa,
Seriously.
the mobster Santa.
Yeah. Yeah, little Timmy was going to get a package, but I fucking whacked him instead. Oh, jeez.
That's awesome.
That's a good time.
All
My
right.
brother's been sent for last thought.
Oh,
my
yeah.
brother's been sent that Luigi guy that killed he's the
Oh, the pretty
assassin
boy?
guy. My brother keeps sending me video, like little Instagrams of a Soprano themed thing where they're talking about him like Luigi,
Yeah.
And there's one he sent me today. They took an episode where Tony's talking about like Antonio Mariucci. I invented the telephone and got robbed and stuff. And he's like, Tony's saying, in this house, he's a legend. End of story. It's pretty funny.
That is crazy though. That guy.
It is nuts, I will say. Murdering people on paper maybe isn't okay. I'm not saying it's okay to shoot somebody, but I kind of feel like good riddance. I don't know. I don't have a real empathetic feeling for.
I get that the CEO's a piece of shit or whatever, but what is that gonna change though? That has to be a dynamic that has to change within the company. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree, but maybe psychos shooting people in the face might change that a little bit. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's okay, but really, really rich people in this country have been fucking us for years.
True.
One asshole getting blasted doesn't really bother me. Maybe don't be.
I thought it was fake when I first heard it. I didn't know what that
nuts,
was. I was
right?
like, well, that's crazy. That's real.
I don't condone violence.
I seen this thing. It said Burger King goes, "We don't snitch." Because it's
a McDonald's. They probably would say that. That's funny.
It was funny.
That's funny. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Just